Hello there, everybody, and I'm sorry that there hasn't been really a live stream or anything of late for a while. It's just that I needed like a little time to work on my course and curriculum at college. But in the meantime, I thought I would do a little video here telling you about my PlayStation 4 collection. It's currently on the floor as we speak right now, so it's a little the floor is a little messy at the moment. But I thought I would, make this little video to hold you guys until I get to around another live stream or whatever else I'm doing at the moment. But in the meantime, let's not waste any more time and let's get started. The PlayStation 4 has been around since November 2013. It's hard to believe it's been around for almost 4 years. Can you believe that, guys? But throughout that time, there's been a lot of games out there that a lot of people play on the PlayStation 4 itself. And I happen to have the original model sitting right there. I need to get a Pro. I need to upgrade to a Pro. It's just that I need the. But let's talk about the games I happen to own physically. This isn't the whole collection because I also have games digitally and all that good stuff. But at the moment, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have right here, shall we? First up on our list, Alien Isolation. Now, Alien Isolation was a game that came completely by surprise, honestly. It was a game that came out in 2014. It was released after the abysmal game that was Aliens Colonial Marines. That game was just god-awful in almost every way. But here we have a game that's more about survival horror than action. You're like running around, you're trying to get away from the alien, trying to get away from little threats. You barely have any equipment on you, and the equipment you do have, it's basically, you barely have anything to start off or barely anything to defend yourself. It's a very long game, but the biggest thing that really gets you is the atmosphere. It's exactly like the Alien movies, particularly the first one. It's like really cheap right now. You could probably find it for like about maybe $20 or something if you can find it. I say go ahead and get it. And the season pass added a few good things as well. It's not a bad game. It's really good. It has been one of my favorites of this generation of this console generation. It's good. I love it. It's a good game. Next up, Assassin's Creed Unity. Now this game was released in such a poor, buggy state when it first came out. I remember the compilation videos that they showed on YouTube of the amount of broken glitches and bugs, and just this game was overall unplayable. And it's still, I mean, even the thing about it is, the amount of patches this game still got, it was still the weakest of the Assassin's Creed series for me. I mean, I'm not the most hardcore fan of Assassin's Creed at all, but I thought Unity was about as lackluster as you can get. They're coming out with Assassin's Creed Origins this year in October, I believe it is. So we'll see how that one is. But as it stands, Unity, Next up, Batman Arkham Knight. Now this game, this game was a day one purchase for me. I pre-ordered it. I got my copy pre-order, bought the season pass and everything, and I made sure I got it on the PS4. And there we go. And I made sure I got it on the PS4 because I wanted to, play that method because I heard how badly the Steam version, the PC version was received at launch. So I kind of stuck safe to my gut and got the console version. And this game I had a lot of fun with, but even I have to admit it was the weakest entry in the Arkham series. My favorite will always be Asylum. I've beaten Arkham Asylum about 6 times. And I've beaten about Arkham City twice. That's all I could stomach, guys. I'm sorry. But Arkham Knight, there was just so many things wrong with it that it kind of held me back in enjoying it a lot than I wanted it to. It's still a great game, it's just not the best. And with the many problems it had with it, the Riddler challenges I couldn't even bother with. The story was just so lackluster for me, I couldn't bother finishing the game. And the fact that you had to 100% the Riddler stuff just to get like the best ending was just, was just a chore for me. I didn't want to go through it. So if you can get it like cheap now. I think it's like on sale for like $20 now on like PC now. And I heard the PC version is getting better patches and whatnot, but I still think it need a long way to go. Arkham Knight is not the worst in the series, but it's not my favorite. Next up, Bloodborne. Now, if you're familiar with From Software's work, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, you would know what kind of game this is. It's more of a slow-paced action crawler. There's a lot of horror. There's like some horror elements in there. Visually, it's really good. It's visually very visually screwed up in many ways. Like you're in Victorian London, and there's like a bunch of things and everything. It's just all there's like werewolves and like villagers and stuff. It's really the ambience is really creepy, but it's like the music is really atmospheric and ambient. It's just more of an ambient game out of the games that they made. One problem I do have with it, like every other From Software game, is that the difficulty is very high. These are hard freaking games. Enjoyable games, but hard games. If you ever want to play these, I recommend them wholeheartedly, but prepare to get your ass kicked. These are hard sons of bitches. They're very hard, difficult. Prepare to die a lot. Seriously. Next up, Bound by Flame. Bound by Flame is an RPG that I just kind of bought off of a whim. I just kind of saw the cover, and I kind of saw what it looked like, and I saw some of the reviews, and I saw some of the videos, and like, you know what, this looks kind of funny. Like, and it is, kind of a way. The acting is just so bad that you can't help but laugh at it. But, honestly, I thought it was an okay effort from the studio that, you know, it wasn't that big of a budget, it wasn't that big of a, you know, didn't have much resources on them. They tried, this is the best that they made out of it. A lot of people don't realize that these type of companies exist, where, it's just like little guys just trying to make some games, pretty much, like the middle market, there we go, mid-market games, where they just put something out there and maybe hopefully someone will get to it and someone will be interested in it. Bound by Flame is one of those games that isn't the most original out there, but like it has like certain parts in the right places. Its height was in the right place, guys. It did the best with what it had. Next up, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. It's exactly what you think it is. It's the original 3 Crash games, re-released, remastered, built from the ground up, and put right here on one disc. I just recently got this, and for $40, this is actually a really good deal. The games were actually a lot more harder than I remembered them, but that could also be because I haven't played them in a while. People are so into games today where they don't give much of a challenge anymore. And I think with this game right here, that's something that I think is lost, and we need to realize maybe we should up our difficulty in the games. Out of the 3, I think 2 is probably my favorite, but 1, they're all good. 3 has like those motorcycle levels, and the first game had those bonus levels. It was just an all-around great game. The soundtrack is catchy. The games looked great for PS1, and now on the PS4, they like ramped them up to like ridiculous levels. It looks breathtaking. This is a great collection. If you have never played Crash Bandicoot games before, I say start here. You never know what you're gonna get into. Next up, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Now, Mankind Divided, I played the first game and a bit of Invisible War and Human Revolution, so I kind of knew I was going to get into Mankind Divided. And if you liked Human Revolution, you would like Mankind Divided. It's just that it doesn't have the greatest story, like compared to Human Revolution. It's not as good. I would say that, I mean, it's really cheap now, so you could probably, I say check it out. but it's not the best in the series. Still a good game. Next up, Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. Now, I played a lot of Diablo 1 and 2, and Diablo 3 disappointed me when it first came out. But when the expansion came out, they added a few new things, they tweaked a few new things, and I gotta say, while it may not be as good as 1 and 2, I do think it is a worthy follow-up of 2. I do think, if you can... I do think the PC version is better, but if you can... It's on PS4, I mean, the way the controller is mapped out and everything, it works really well, it controls very well, it looks good, for what it is. I mean, and you can just, spend hours and hours, dungeon crawling, hitting enemies with swords. It's good stuff. Dragon Age Inquisition. I am a big fan of Dragon Age Origins, and I love Dragon Age Origins. The gameplay was great, the graphics were amazing, the music was one of the best soundtracks ever in video games. The characters were great, the story was phenomenal. It was just all around a great game. Dragon Age 2 came out, and it no. Dragon Age 2 was not good. I did not like Dragon Age 2. Inquisition brought back a few things that was great in Origins, introduced a few new elements of its own. It's like the best of two. It was the best of what 2 had to offer, and some of the good stuff that Origins had, and they kind of put it in its own little mix. And I think it's an alright game. It's I wouldn't say it's like compared to like other RPGs out there. This one probably gets left in the dust because honestly, when you compare Dragon Age Inquisition to Skyrim, it doesn't pale, or The Witcher 3, which we'll get to in a minute. It's just not. but it's not. But Inquisition is great. I mean, if you never played a Dragon Age game, I say still start with Origins. But Inquisition is still a worth up from Origins, and definitely was an improvement over 2. Dragon Quest Heroes. Now, Dragon Quest Heroes is a... If you ever play Dynasty Warriors, it's kind of like that. You're going around a battlefield and you're cutting like hundreds and thousands of enemies at your disposal, and you fight bosses and everything. But this just gives it the Dragon Quest, cover basically. It's very good. It has a lot of content. You can spend hours and hours just kind of slashing through enemies. It's really good. The graphics are colorful. The music is charming. It's just all around a great game. And I need to play the sequel. The sequel just came out, and I just never got around to it. I forgot I had this. Drive Club. Drive Club is a racing game. That's pretty much it. It was hyped from heaven. It was hyped from hell and back, and then it just came out, and the online was in a poor state, and the player base just kind of drove off the face of the earth. Drive Club is alright if you like driving games, but there's like better driving games out there. Honestly, there really is. But it's not bad. It's not bad. If you can, it's like very cheap now. You can probably get it for like $5. I don't know. I can look it up. I don't feel like looking it up. But hey, not bad. Not a bad racing game. Still recommend Gran Turismo over it, but it's still alright. Alright. No console wouldn't be complete without Skyrim, so here's Skyrim Special Edition. It's basically Skyrim. If you played Skyrim, you know it's pretty much Skyrim with all the expansions, all the add-ons, and just given a fresh coat of paint. I got this because my PC couldn't run Skyrim for some reason. So all of a sudden, like the horse freaks out or something. Then all of a sudden, like the movement goes crazy on the horse. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, what in the what the Yeah, this is Skyrim, alright. I think I later figured it out that it had a lot to do with my refresh rate on my monitor. So I would just turn down the refresh rate on my monitor. The game will run perfectly fine. So, yeah. If you want to check that out, there is a video of me when I there's like a video I made regarding that, and I still think it's still hilarious that they still need to fix that. I'm not sure what the problem is with that. I think it's like the I think it has something to do with like the engine they're using or something. I wasn't really sure why it does that. But I got this on PS4, and it runs really well on PS4. Like the graphics look fantastic. The modding, okay, if you're gonna do modding, PC is the way to go. But Xbox One has a better modding support. Sony, I don't know what you guys are doing modding wise when it comes to supporting that, but get it together, will ya? But Skyrim's still Skyrim. I mean, it's not my favorite out of the Elder Scrolls series. That would be Oblivion. But Skyrim did introduce a lot of new people to the series. So, for that, I gotta give it props. It's still a good game. I always turn it on once in a while. I might get it on the Switch, too. They are making a Switch stuff. Speaking of Bethesda games, here's Fallout 4. I got this day one, and while I do think I Fallout 4 is great and all, I prefer New Vegas. I really do. I mean, the leveling up system is so dumbed down in this, like it limits replayability for me. The customization is high, very high, but for like leveling up, the customization for leveling up, no, it's like bare bones. The story, it's kind of samey, except it's kind of instead of you looking for your dad like in Fallout 3, you're looking for your son. Fallout 4 is a lot more colorful. I'll give it that. It is a lot more colorful than Fallout 3 and New Vegas. But the biggest problem I have with it is, like, once again, they dumbed down the RPG elements. Which, you know, if you like shooting things, it's pretty good, but when it comes to RPG, it's kind of lacking. But it has hours of content, and it's pretty cheap. So if you can find it for a good price, I say, give it a try. Far Cry 4! I also got this day one, along with Little Big Planet 3. We'll get to that later. Far Cry 4, this is back when I was in my Far Cry buzz. Like, I was into Far Cry 3 and Blood Dragon. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is probably my favorite out of the bunch. But I looked at 4, and I was like, you know what? Let's play some more of this. And 4, I think, is better than 3 in terms of tone. Like, in terms of tone, like it's like you still. I mean, they still jam that serious story into your throat, which they don't need. Honestly, with a game like this, the story should just be more about blowing shit up, and you do blow shit up, but it's just more along the lines of. They try so hard to take it so seriously, where even the developers themselves know that they're not taking it seriously, but they have to have that serious story in there anyway, which I don't think they have to. Far Cry 5 looks like it's going around that same path, except it's more ludicrous and insane than usual. So I cannot wait for Far Cry 5. I have yet to play Primal. I'm not sure how that is. But 4, pretty good. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. I bought this specifically for the 15 demo years ago. I also got it for Type 0 because I have never owned Type 0 because it was only in Japan only. Final Fantasy. Oh boy. So for Type 0, you can tell this is on the PSP. And it was a PSP title. So you can tell it was on the PSP. The graphics look ugly, but it's still for the PSP. Think about it. I mean, I got this, for 15 demo, and I played it on stream. I played it on stream. It was the first live stream I've ever done. It's on my YouTube channel. Just kind of look for the videos, kind of do some digging. It's there. It's probably in the earlier live stream broadcast things. I've been thinking about going back to Type 0. I remember getting through I want to say the 5th chapter, 5th, 8th, something along those lines. And I'm thinking about going back and playing this. It's pretty good. I don't remember much of it, but I need to play more of it. Final Fantasy X and X-2, because why not? I already own this on PS2 and PS3. Voice crack. Ugh. I already owned this on PS2 and PS3, so PS4 I thought, why not? It was $20. I saw it at Walmart. I'm like, you know what? Let's get it again. I have multiple copies, like other games. It's like, that's nothing new for me. Final Fantasy X is far from my favorite. In fact, if I'm going to tell you what my favorite is, it'd probably be a cross between 6 and 9. Those are my favorites. 10 isn't bad at all. Gameplay-wise, it's fantastic, but it's the characters. I cannot stand these characters. I do not like Titus. I don't like Luma. I don't like Yuma. Excuse me. I do not like Riku. Lulu is okay, but just 10-2 is. I mean, that's the biggest problem with like making a sequel to a sequel, which spawns lines of sequels. It just becomes not as good. 10-2 isn't good. 10, I got this for 10. I'm gonna be honest with you, but 10-2 I've yet to play. I just say have yet to play. But with the remastered version, it does have the original and the remastered music. So if you want to like listen to that back and forth, you can. The game is still as good as it was. It just wasn't really my favorite to begin with. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Final Fantasy 15. Now I have gone on about this one. I did the live stream for the demo. I did the live stream for that other demo, the Platinum demo, and I did recently in my latest live stream. I played this again. So, what do I think of it? Well, I will say that this game is better than 13 ever was. The combat and gameplay is fantastic. There's so much to do, so many quests. The world is huge and big in scope and scale where you can look around. I'm glad that they finally got this out the door. It was never meant to be 15 at all, but I can understand why they called it 15 to begin with. And it's definitely one of the better ones out there that they made. I'm glad that they came out with this finally. And it's good. It really is. Fantastic even in some points. The biggest problem I have with it is its storyline. It's just so throwaway. And the characters is basically kind of... I mean, the characters are likable, I guess, but I mean, the biggest problem I have is that they repeat the same lines over and over again when you're out running around. But they're all charming. I mean, Ignis is great. Prompto, he's okay. But Gladio, he's cool. Noctis, I can't really relate well to Noctis. I can't. But it's still pretty good. Still really good. It's going down in price lately, so I say pick it up. When will there be a PSC port? That's just something I don't get. God of War 3 Remastered. Why do you exist? But I played God of War. God of War is like my jam. I mean, if you like killing things in Greek mythology, then you're gonna love God of War 3. I played 1 and 2. 1 is fantastic. 2 is fantastic. 3 is fantastic. 3 is fantastic. I played it on the PlayStation 3 originally because that was the system it was originally from. Then they brought it over to the PS4. I'm like, you know what? I like God of War 3. I'm gonna get it again because it's cheap. It's a great remaster. It's in 1080p, 60 frames per second, which is always nice. But they didn't really remaster the cutscenes. It's not in real time or anything. Well, most of them. You can tell by the frame rate difference. Some cutscenes are 30 or 24, I don't know, and then 60 is the gameplay. But if you like, this is great. I cannot wait for the reboot. I cannot wait for the reboot. It looks fantastic. Instead of Greek mythology, it's Norse mythology. I'm like, I had to do a double take at first, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, that works. That kind of works. And then they go, like, the music is fantastic. Bear McCurry does no wrong, I swear. Okay. Next up, Infamous Second Son. This is one of the earlier PlayStation 4 titles. Like, when the PlayStation 4 first came out, they had a couple of launch titles and first-party titles that never really got off the ground, and this was one of them. Because, you know, Infamous, I freaking love Infamous. Infamous 1, 2, they're great. Second Son takes place in Seattle. When I saw that, I'm like, wow, Seattle. I used to be in that Washington State area. I remember Seattle vividly. the Space Needle, the fact there was a coffee shop around every corner. I'm not kidding, by the way. There was a coffee shop in every corner. And this, that, and the other thing. It was just in the little fair off by the... Oh, that was in there. These set pieces, the set pieces that were in, in Seattle, were in this game. And it was so great kind of going through Seattle again in this game, because, in case you're wondering, I'm not in Washington anymore. I'm in Virginia. Kind of a long ways away. But, I remember that shit vividly. And I thought, playing that again, it did give me those, memories back when I used to be in that Seattle area. And, I should play this again. I should pop this in and play it again sometime. It was a really good game. Injustice, Gods Among Us. It is a fighting game with DC comic characters. Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, the Joker. Actually, I can just look at the back cover and look. Yeah, great fighting game. I haven't played the sequel yet. I really need to. I've just been so busy with other things, I just haven't got around to certain games. But Injustice is great. It has a story mode, which is pretty good. The amount of content is fantastic. The roster of characters is great. It's just an all-around great fighting game, and you can get it on the cheap now. This is probably a definitive way to play it, because it's at 60 frames per second, and multiplayer and everything, and it's got all the content. This is the Ultimate Edition, so it has all the content and everything. I say get it. Check it out, honestly. Oh boy, Killzone Shadowfall. This is one of the first PS4 games I've ever owned, and I loved Killzone 2 and 3. 1 sucked. I didn't like 1. Shadowfall sucked. Shadowfall, this game was ugh. I mean, the graphics were colorful. I mean, they showed off what the console could do. I'll give it that for the time. But it was just so lackluster and boring when it comes to a first-person shooter. 2 and 3 at least had some, elements to it. I mean, 3 had those space stages, and 2 had that amazing climax at the end, up until the final boss. But this had barely anything. The multiplayer didn't really keep me playing for a while either. I immediately went back to 2 and 3's multiplayer soon after. And when it comes to first-person shooters on the PS4, I feel like there are better ones out there. However, if I want my first-person shooter fix, I go to X. I play Halo. I got an Xbox One. In fact, that's pretty much my Halo box right there. Xbox One is my Halo box. But Killzone Shadowfall, just skip it. It's cheap though, but really, it's not really worth it. Tell you what is worth it though, The Last of Us. Even though I have yet to freaking play it. I have yet to play The Last of Us. I have owned this for years, and I have yet to play it. And I know how awful of me. I need to. I've heard so many good things about it, and with The Last of Us 2 coming out, I'll probably get around to it sooner or later. In fact, tell you what, I will live stream this in October during Halloween. How's that? Because I heard there was like a survival horror element to it. So I thought, you know what? Tell you what, October, I'll play it. I promise. Tell you one game I did play though, The Last Guardian. People, you have no idea how long I waited for this game. I was a fan of Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. This was made by the same people who made those games. And I was just so, look at this. Gotta love that. I was so looking forward to this game so much that I got the collector's edition. I even got the statue sitting right over there. You can't really see it very well, but it's over there somewhere. Yeah, right over there. But people did not like this game. I understand why they don't, but you have to understand I waited so long for this game that I just kind of wanted it to come out. I didn't care. But I understand why people got upset over it, because well, it's a Team Ico game. You're expecting the camera to be, you're expecting like that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you one thing this does deliver. Atmosphere and music. The music is just hauntingly good. Hauntingly good. Like, listen to some of the tracks in it. It's great. The epilogue theme. So amazing. I cry every time. But, this game, it tries very hard to be emotional. Like, it's a very emotional game. Like, it gets you the heartstrings. It makes you want to go, "Aww," every time you see the little creature here. It's just an all-around fantastic game. And it looks fantastic on a 4K TV. Like, it looks phenomenal. It still looks phenomenal for the time. For the time it just came out. This has been in development for years. Like, apparently it came out, apparently they started development in 2016. 2006. Came out in 2016. They kept developing it in 2006, I think it was. And it kept getting delayed from time to time again. But, Last Guardian, still a pretty good game. I love it. It was still one of my favorites that year. I didn't really do an end of 2016 video, but if I had to, this was definitely high up there as one of my faves. It's just really good. It really is. And the fact that it's going down in price, if you haven't played this yet, give it a shot. It's really good. If you have a PS4, pick it up. Alright, we're finally at the home stretch. I got one small little pile of games right here, and we're gonna kick it off with Little Big Planet 3. Little Big Planet 3 is Little Big Planet. If you've never played a Little Big Planet game, it's a side-scroller. You get to customize your little sack person. You can build your own levels and everything. It's almost phenomenal how customizable this game is. And Little Big Planet 3 is exactly the same thing. If you've never played a Little Big Planet game before, I say start here. But 1 is good, 2 is good, 3 is good. They're all good games. 3, I got this the same day Far Cry 4. As Far Cry 4, I got that and Little Big Planet 3. It was kind of funny because it's like people were going in there. I believe Grand Theft Auto 5 and Dragon Age Inquisition came out that same day. And people are like, "Oh man, what games you getting?" I'm getting Far Cry 4 and Little Big Planet 3, and they just kind of looked, they kind of stare, like, "What the hell's your problem?" But good game, really good game. If you haven't tried it out, I say give it a shot. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, the last Metal Gear game. I don't care if they're coming out with another one. This one is the final one, and this game was so long. This was a long freaking game. I couldn't believe how long this game was. By the time I got to like the second area of the game, apparently I put in like 20 hours already. It's like, it's like clear time 20%. I was like, oh, I haven't even fucking scratched the surface. This game is so retardedly huge. It's unbearable. If you see my end of 2015 video and my live stream I did of this game, you would know my opinions of it. It's a great game. It definitely ends with the Metal Gear series with a bang. You can tell there was a lot of effort put into this before Konami pulled the plug on a lot of other things. But I cannot wait for what Kojima comes up with this time, the creator of the games. I can't figure out what the other game he's making is. Death Stranding? I don't know what the heck that game is. Trailers. That's all it is. Trailers. You need gameplay, man. I mean, it looks hypnotizingly weird, but I need something other than that. I like weird, but when it comes to a game, you gotta show me outright that it's a game, you know. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5, still pretty good. Metro Redux. Now these are, this is also another remaster collection of Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. I got this for Last Light because I've been wanting to play this for a while. And these are good games. It does a lot of things good in them. The direction is really good. I love how gritty these games are. They're really, really good. And the fact that they've been picked up by Deep Silver. Deep Silver? Yeah, Deep Silver. I believe they picked up, I think THQ? I think THQ originally owned them. I think that's it. But these are great. I haven't played much of these, honestly. I need to play more of these, but my backlog is about as big as you can get. but I need to play more of it before I have an actual opinion of it. But it's still really good, of the little I played of it. Test your might. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat X is a fighting game. If you did not know that, then I feel like I should... Well, yeah, let's keep going. Mortal Kombat X. Not as good as MK9 at all. But it's still really good. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. Like some great some brutal fatalities. A good roster of characters. They even got Jason Voorhees in it as a playable character. I'm like, okay, you made my day. I mean, the Alien is a playable character. They have a lot of good DLC for this. Somewhat DLC characters. Let me point that out. I got the original. I just got the original boring copy, but apparently they came out with another copy called Mortal Kombat XL, which comes with all the DLC and everything in one package. So I might get that in the meantime, and like sell this copy. I don't know, but it's still a fantastic fighting game. It looks good. It controls well. It runs well. It's really good. It doesn't have any slowdown. I didn't really get that much lag during the online play. It was just all around a stable game. Didn't piss me off that much. It was just, you know, except, you know, if I'm playing on like the hardest difficulty and everything. Still really good. How about a game that how about a game that's not good? Just can't really see that, but The Order 1886. Oh boy, how this game was hyped from hell and back, and was pretty much a game from hell. This game is terrible. I hate this game so much. The Order 1886 is terrible, awful. I can't stand it. Just look at my stream where I pretty much riff on the entire cutscene of the cutscenes in that game. The live stream, I'm like playing it. It's like it's the most boring dime a dozen third-person shooter I've seen in a long time. I mean, this game is so lackluster and boring and not much. I mean, they try to cover all that with just a story, which is also just kind of boring and lackluster. There's this whole Whitechapel werewolf thing going on, and it goes nowhere. The characters are awful. They're so boring and generic. I mean, how can you give a character's name, Sir? How can you name a character after a knight, Sir Galahad, and make him boring? How did you make this game boring? I don't understand it. And I mean, the game was short. I mean, it was like a 6-hour game, barely any replay value, no multiplayer whatsoever. It was just an all-around snore of a game. And the fact that you can get it for like really cheap now shows you it's a snore of a game. Don't buy it. Don't. You're just wasting your time and your money. Don't like I did. Just don't buy it. Now, Ratchet & Clank, on the other hand, a complete opposite. This is a really good... This came out around the same time the movie did. And the movie I see on Netflix, it's pretty much the game's cutscenes. That's literally all it is. I'm like, well, okay, it's the game's cutscenes, and the cutscenes were good, but that technically make the movie good? I think it's because of when that movie came out. I'm sure if the game came out after the movie, I'm sure no one will be complaining. But the game itself is a reimagining of the first Ratchet & Clank game on PlayStation 2. And this is fantastic. I always loved the Ratchet & Clank games. Tools of Destruction being my favorite. Yeah, a lot of people you don't really hear that often. But the first game, I mean, it was kind of short, but it was entertaining. That's the difference between that and the other game I mentioned. This was entertainingly enjoyable. And it's cheap now. You can find it. I recommend getting this. This is one of the best PS4 exclusives. How about some survival horror goodness? Resident Evil 7. Now, again, this is going to be another one of those games I might do on the October stream for Halloween. because, you know, I have a couple of survival horror games and stuff, jump scare worthy titles, perhaps. So I might do this one on October as well. This was a game that, I mean, let's face it, there hasn't been a true Resident Evil survival horror game in years, so you think there would be a lot of hype for this one. But it felt like this one kind of snuck quietly into stores, and in January of all months. Honestly, I like that. No games live up to their hype, so it's best not to have any hype. That doesn't stop from people being excited about this game anyway. This game has VR support, which I don't have a VR headset for my PlayStation 4, so whoops, can't really do anything with that. But yeah, this game was good. The first time I popped it in, I was legitimately scared. That first hour scared me. It was all build-up. That's how. See, this is when you know a horror game or a horror movie, that matter, gets something right. When they scare you via build-up. When they build up the ambience, they build up this you know, the music, and they build up everything. You can never tell where they're going with everything, and then sooner or later it hits, and then you're just kind of sitting here scared out of your wits, just like, oh my gosh, they went this direction. That's when you know a horror game and a horror movie gets something right. And Resident Evil 7 does exactly that. After that first hour, though, stuff becomes a lot more funny. This is actually really funny. I wasn't expecting this game to have the amount of humor it did. Like, the moment I set my eyes on that father character, coming around, you know, okay, I know this is going to sound cliche the way I word it, but he's literally coming after you with like a huge chainsaw and shit, or like an axe or something. He's always coming after you for something. It sounds like my real life. But, literally comes after you with like, goes through fucking walls. There's like this one part of the game where you're literally going through, like you're literally locked in the garage, and like you're literally trying to get through it. Then you can like find the keys to a car that's in the garage, and you're literally getting in the car, and you're literally trying to, and then he like grabs you, like literally gets you out of the car, and then like he gets in the car, and he's literally trying to run you over with the car. It's just, it's hilarious the way I'm describing it. I think the best way for me to do that is to actually play this during October, when that happens. In 2 months. I mean, hey, it's definitely something to think about. But yeah, this game is fantastic. I kind of laugh at scary things, not get shocked or terrified at. So, and this is one game I just kind of laugh at. It's horrifyingly hilarious. We'll say that. How about some more Resident Evil? Resident Evil Revelations 2. This was this is before 7 came out, and this is when they were still trying to do things. And this is all right. Episodic though, that's the thing. I had to wait for a physical copy. It's still good. Didn't really have much to say there. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, if you played the Tomb Raider reboot, which I also own here, I'll get to that one in a second. But Rise of the Tomb Raider is actually, I find, to be better than the original reboot. And the reason for that is that I just thought the levels were more varied. I just thought it was a great continuation from said reboot. There's just a lot of things going on, and I got the 20-year celebration, so it's got all these costumes. They have that retro costume, which I love so much, because I love the original games. The original games are good. And this also came with like a little art book. I mean, this, if I could get the sleeve open. But like, it comes with this art book here, and it's got like paper and stuff flying. It's got like a little, you know, art and stuff here, and I gotta pick all that up. And the best thing about this is that it was so varied in its level designs, and the game controlled well. And if you had a PlayStation 4 Pro, which I don't, you can unlock the frame rate to 60, which is nice. I just need to get a Pro so I can do that. This was originally an Xbox One exclusive, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll get on Xbox One, and I noticed that they came out on PS4 and everything. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll just get on PS4, and I did. And it's, you know, this guy has all, and this, it even has VR support, which I don't know why, but it does. But I say if you're into, you know, raiding tombs, going on adventures, if you like that Indiana Jones type, feeling, this will do it for you. It'll do it for you, definitely. Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4. This game I had so much fun with, superpowers, flying around the city, enjoying music. This is actually one of those games where this is actually one of my feel-good games. I would actually pop this game in from time to time just to, get, put off steam, I guess you could say. Lay off some steam, I guess. Because you're flying around, you're listening to music on the radio that the game provides, and it's just all around. It's over the top. It's hilarious. It's funny. This one's one of my favorites of the last console generation. That's what I should do. I should do top 10 games from the 7th console generation. I feel like that would be an interesting list. Shadow Warrior. I love this game. Shadow Warrior is fantastic. I have yet to play the sequel. I really want to, but I just love the game. I just love the gunplay in Shadow Warrior. It just felt so good. And yet, I heard disappointing things about the sequel, but I'm hoping that one turns out to be good as well. I got this on console first before I got it on PC, because this is during the time when my PC was crap. It really was. I couldn't play any games at all. I did own it on PC, but I couldn't play it, so I just, okay, let's play it on PS4, get it on PS4 and wait for that. It was like a long wait for the PC version to the console version, but I saw reviews, and I watched Total Biscuit's video of it, and I'm like, you know what, I trust myself, I don't trust this game, where I would pre-order it, and I did. And it's great, I love this. Like, like the amount of weapons, you can dual-wield, no, you can't dual-wield weapons in this. Oh, yeah, you can. It's like a video. There's like a picture of it and everything. You got the katana. You can you can do so many things with that katana. You can find hidden secrets. The levels were open and wide and varied, and you can search for hidden things and secrets. That's the definition of a shooter for me, and it does that very well. That's my brother's. Okay. Star Wars Battlefront. This was the reboot of the Battlefront games, and if you remember from my stream, I said don't buy it. And now, here's a little update for you. Go buy it. They released the Ultimate Edition for very cheap. It's like $30. It has all the DLC and everything. So that, I think, is a more worthwhile purchase. You can get a base copy for $8. I do not have the Ultimate Edition because I have it on PC. So, that's always nice. So, after years and years, and they have a sequel coming out for it, which I hope they add a story mode, and I hope that becomes a lot more better of a game, and more varied of a game. This, I think, is worthy of a purchase now because of how low priced it is. So I say give it a whirl now. Give it a try now. Waiting is probably the best thing to do in that regard. Alright, we're down to the last couple of games. So I'll just go ahead and put these over here. And just kind of show you what I have left. Street Fighter V. I got the collector's edition of this with the art book and the statue. The statue with the most flimsy stand ever. You got this well-built statue. I can show you right now. Wherever it is. Oh, it's over here. Very well detailed, well built. And you have this flimsy piece of plastic. So you put the statue on this, and the thing about this thing is that it won't. Okay, now it's staying on. But the thing about it is, after a while, it will stay on for a while. But then it start leaning forward, and then it'll just eventually come off like that. You know. Put you right here. It comes apart like that. It does. So Street Fighter V. Oh my... Okay. The story mode, because, you know, they added story mode free. This is probably the most incomplete game I've ever seen in my life. You could tell this was rushed because of that EVO Championships. I've never been a professional. I haven't never been a tournament kind of guy, or an esports kind of guy. I've always been kind of more of a laid-back guy, mostly when it comes to certain things. I can understand why people will get excited for it, though. And I was excited. Bought the collector's edition. So, what exactly is the problem with this? Well, nothing will beat out 2. Nothing will beat out 3 or 4. 5 is probably the weakest I've ever seen out of the lot. That doesn't mean it's a bad game. Structurally, the game is still solid of a game. It's still solid of a fighting game to play. The game runs fine. The servers, they're still working on that. I heard they were better than they were. I do like how all the DLC characters are earnable for free. So that's nice, but it's been a while since I went back and played it. And in fact, I'll tell you right now, the live stream I did for this game back in July of last year was the last time I played it. I've yet to go back to it, so I need to brush up on my Hadoukens and play more of this. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. I do not own 4. And the reason why I haven't owned 4 is because I need to finish these. I've beaten the first game, and I'm currently halfway through the second game right now. I've yet to play 3. But I'll say right now, Uncharted 1 and 2 are fantastic games, and I'm sure 3 is just as fantastic. I keep hearing great things about 3, so I just need to play it. I need to finish it. I need to finish these games, and so I can move on to 4. If you have not played it, this collection is probably definitive. If you have yet to play Uncharted at all, this is probably a definitive way of playing them now. Okay, here's the Tomb Raider reboot, definitive edition of Tomb Raider. It's funny, really. Going back to Uncharted, it's funny that Uncharted took notes from Tomb Raider. And now the Tomb Raider reboot is taking notes from Uncharted. But they're both great games. And Tomb Raider, the reboot, was a fantastic reboot. It was a gripping story, very well done, very well done gameplay. The game looks breathtaking. The PC version, I think, is better. But this just looks great, and it plays great. It was just an all-around great game. Until Dawn. I have never played this yet. I haven't played this yet. Apparently it's one of those cinematic experiences, apparently. So apparently it's gonna have like very cinematic. I bought this because it was cheap. So I just need to get around to playing it, I guess. Apparently on the back of the box, only your choices determine who survives. So this might be another game to do in October for that October stream. So I might do that and play it. Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. This is a strategy RPG, and this was like I said before, remastered. So obviously it's a remastered game, 1080p, 60 frames. I bought this. I actually got the cool case for it, and just got there's the artwork and everything for it. Nice case. But it's got the little sleeve and everything. I bought this because I never played Valkyria Chronicles, and I saw this in the store. I'm like, you know what? I haven't played this. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And it's really good. If you like strategy RPGs, this is actually a really good one. It's got like it's like part turn-based strategy, part RPG, part real-time third-person shooter. It's got you can build your platoon. It's got all the DLC. And, the remastered edition comes with all the DLC. It's just all around great if you're into that sort of thing. And I am. And the last game for my PS4 physical copy, my PS4 physical library, The Witcher 3. If you're into open world RPGs, if you're into stories, if you're into amazing graphics, if you're into fantastic music and hours of content, hundreds of hours, The Witcher 3 is the one for you. The physical copy actually comes with the soundtrack. So that's always a good deal. Hey, any physical copy comes with a free soundtrack. Hey, I'm on board. And I got the season pass of all the DLC and everything. This is a very long game, and I still haven't even scratched the surface of it, even of 2017. This came out in 2015. I even mentioned this in my end of 2015 video. And if you have a PS4, I say check it out. It's also available on Xbox One. And I also recently got it on the PC, and the PC version is always a definitive version to play. Okay, well that's it, everybody. That's my PS4 library. It's been building ever since I got my PS4 back in 2014, and that's not counting my digital games. I still have a lot of digital games: Shovel Knight, PT. I even have some full games that are digital: Doom, Battlefield 4. I mean, there's still a lot of things I still need to cover, and I might do other collection videos. I think that would be a good thing to do. I might do one on the Wii U. I do have a GameCube one I would like to do. I'd be very proud of doing that. And I got a lot of other things around. A lot of other things I'm thinking about doing in the near future. But in the meantime, I'm a busy man. I got things to do. So in the meantime, game on and take care. And I will see you guys next time. You got this well-built statue of Ryu, whatever, like very well built, very well done. Then you have this flimsy piece of plastic to keep this on. Shit. Okay, he's good.